praises to Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Kodash. Double honor to the apostles and elders, the great millstone that rule well and live in the word and doctrine. Shalom and peace may that be to the elect of the nation of Israel. So, Financial Times says China estimates 250 million people have caught the thing in 20 days. Since figures presented at closed-door meeting are in stark contrast to low official case count. So, I won't get too into it because that's the main point is the headline. But we have to remember whether it's the case that this is true and it's really is deadly. Because the first time when it first came out ages ago, and it's probably going to get me a strike, where people were dropping out, dying, flying in the air and splatting on the floor. I'm being hyperbolic, but falling over. Oh no, this is what it's all about. When it came to UK, a couple of people caught it, right? People that, were tested happy. When you're happy, you're not negative. In a sense, so they tested happy for the thing, and they said it was just like a cold. But they were publicizing it in the media, mainstream media, as this is, you fall over, flat on your face, die straight up. But so if it is that case, then it was prophesied. The Lord spoke about pestilences, which I'll get. Lord, I don't get the pestilences, but I'll get the scripture. Matthew 24 and verse 7. For nation shall rise against nation, kingdom against kingdom, and there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. All these are the beginning of sorrows. And it speaks about that in Ezra as well, beginning of sorrows. So if that is the case, it could be a pestilence, and it could be deadly this time. Fatalis. 2 Ezra 16 and 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and there's certainly serious wars taking place on the earth right now. And the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? And again, a point we always make is, why would Ezra say, what shall I do? Because he knew he'd be back. It's called reincarnation. Verse 19. Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. So there will be true diseases that are going to lick some people, man. And whether he uses it to inflate, and push out more draconian law, that's perfect, because he's hastening prophecy. Really, we're in the same scope for different reasons. He wants to push out the MOTB because he thinks that rulership forever. We want him to push out the MOTB because that's one step getting closer to us having rulership forever. Revelation 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe to the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea, for the devil come down into having great wrath, because he knows that he hath for a short time. So they're trying to push it out. Now Mr. Musk is trying to push out trials of his charagma, brain charagma, within the next 6 months. He said about a month ago. I'm speaking in December 2022 right now. I think then. And that being said, there was a predictive programming film, which I'll pull up 1 minute. Okay, they put here so this is set in 2024, but it was based on a disease. Let's see if I can find some other time. Right, here we are. This is the storyline. Over 4 years of ock'own in LA in 2024, and C-23 has mutated and has a 50% mortality rate. So the C-19 really hit in 2020. So they're pushing out an idea, a false idea, allegedly. It may come to pass, we'll see. But they're pushing out this story about a futuristic world. So this is from 2020. This film came out in 2020, set in 2024, based on a pestilence coming out, I would assume, late 2023. I remember seeing this. I'm not saying that this is true, but it is predictive programming. If there is any pestilence where they can benefit from it, the elites, they never let a good crisis go to waste. Okay, so let me read the storyline. Over 4 years of ock'own in LA in 2024 and C-23 mutate 56% mortality rate. Only the few immune people can leave their homes. And we had a global down across the whole earth, and that's unprecedented. So we're certainly in times, and you saw a lot of tyranny, and you saw a lot of people rebelling against that. So we'll see if it comes back. That can't have been the only pestilence to lick. It says he has the LA streets to himself, except a few checkpoints. People hate him as he's immune and can move around and they can't. But that was and you should watch it. It's not a bad film. You can see when you're going through alright, you have to stay at home. Alright, you can't come into work from home. Do this, do that where you can. You saw how quick these people in rulership could dictate certain terms and conditions may apply. And we're going into a time you're gonna see. The second Ezra is 15, verse 14. Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands. For there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power. And when the people have the little freedom that they did have taken away, and when there is pressure, stress, lack of food, so on and so forth, it creates the perfect storm. Right, the Lord's playing chess. It creates a perfect storm for these sort of events. Then order ab chaos, or whatever order out of chaos is a principle of the ruling elites. So they'll use that to ultimately push the digital all, the C-hip, the charagma, the MOTB, and that's about the long and short of it. Once that's been pushed out, then you need nukes to come, and the rest is history. When Yahawashi comes back, all these governments have to go down. Right, this town ain't big enough for the both of us. The womb wasn't big enough for the both of us. J and E, Jacob, or Yaquab and Aisha. Right, read Genesis 25. So we'll see. But there is pestilences prophesied to come upon the earth, whether this be a resurgence or whether this just be thought passing in the wind and didn't really go anywhere. We'll see. Nonetheless, the prophecies of the scriptures hold true. That's why it says we know in part and we prophesy in part. We know exactly what the prophecies are. We don't necessarily know exactly how it will take place. Right? You can't say if it's going to be Neuralink or Synchron. Right? But there'll be, or some other company, Wallet Mall, or even any, none of them might do it. Someone else might be the one to push it out. But ultimately, it will come to pass. So I'll leave it there. On to the next video, Lord willing. Halalyam, Yahawah, bahasham, Yahawashi, bahasham, Shalom.